Hey,
was supposed to fade out, but it didn't. I don't know what the hell's going on. Welcome, everybody. We're back to the booze up. It's week 3.
3 weeks. The trilogy continues.
That's right. We're hopefully back to our normal broadcasting excellence in broadcasting network, and the EIB network. I just made that up. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that before, but. Yeah, we had some problems last week, Captain, and it really bummed out the whole vibe because we had some good topics, but I was delayed and it sounded like shit. So hopefully I switched computers and hopefully we got that fixed for this time. We'll see. I knock on wood, but I don't have any near me other than this thing. So Captain Bronco, how's it going? What's happening in your
John, life is good. Unfortunately, my undefeated season prediction was squashed last week, but I'm glad you squashed the bugs. Looking forward to a Orkin-free zone this podcast.
A Porkin? What'd you say?
Orkin, not Porkins, not the Red 5 team leader.
Porkins, yes. Yeah, that was the thing. When it was delayed like that, you know, we're such masters of the craft that we would, you could jump in on each other's takes, right? You could like kind of comment as they're talking, and I couldn't do that because it was so delayed. So it was really, it really had my hands tied behind my back, and I was really upset. So I'm glad we got it worked out. Again, knock on wood.
John, I feel like it was your platinum craftness that helped us get around that. My constant jumping in ruins everything.
Well, I didn't, and you were under the impression that I killed the show on purpose, and I didn't. I was frozen like this, and it just kind of froze that way. It was pretty funny, other than it sucking, but it was all right. So
it felt like a classic John Reedy Joker card to play at the end.
That's right. I should have just said yes. I did plan to kill the janky feed right then. So let's get right into it. Your Denver Broncos, you said it, undefeated season over, 1-1, a heartbreaker to the Colts. As soon as I mean, everyone knew it. As soon as that flag was thrown, they were like, "What was a flag on the play?" I was like, I should just turn this off right now. I do not want to see what's going to happen because I know what's going to happen. That really sucked. That was terrible. I get it, but walk me through some of your thoughts on that, Captain.
Well, you gotta start at the beginning of the game. I really do think the Broncos came out pretty well, considering the offense was a little bit of a misstep last week. They came out strong. I mean, Bo Nix threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception in a key location. But it was interesting to me that I felt like it was a completely opposite game from last week. The offense showed up, but the defense didn't. Especially in key situations. And then you have the leverage call at the end of the game. And I kind of felt like you did, where I'm like, here we go. Some BS call that should have been done against the Kansas City Chiefs plagues our Broncos. And like I was telling you earlier, I had to look up, like, I don't remember leverage being called a lot during the season, or many seasons for that matter. But you ask the old AI, who I love, like you love very much.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You're a big AI fan. But in situations where you go, hey, how many times was the leverage call made in 2024? And it comes back with 4 times last year. And it just so happened one of those 4 times was the Denver Broncos. So interesting lightning strikes twice with that stupid call.
Well, yes, but was it in something that key? Like they're trying to kick a 60-yard field goal and the guy, shanked it. Were all those calls in, like, was it in the first quarter that happened? I mean, because, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's all right. But in that moment, it seems a little ridiculous. Granted, I would have loved it had it happened the other way. I would have celebrated. It would have been fantastic. I would have been like, well, that's the rules, guys. I just think that I understand it, but if it doesn't affect the kick, if you do that, if you knock down the center, right? I'm understanding this, right? If you knock down the center and you get over and you're actually disrupting the play, I can understand how that works. But if you're still on the line, you're not even over the line of scrimmage, you don't affect the kick whatsoever. Do you really have to call that? he was not going to make that kick from there, but he sure as hell was going to make it after trotting him up 15 yards, right?
No, I agree, and I think if you're a referee, you're kind of like a zebra in the jungle, right? You have to make sure your presence is known for some reason, and they wanted to take that hill to take on. Interesting choice. It's one of those times where you kind of go, I feel like baseball's a little bit further ahead in certain situations when it comes to instant replay. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear too many announcers saying that it was a BS call, but it's certainly inopportune timing, and I don't think the Broncos helped themselves with the missed field goal from Nuts for Lutz and then that interception by Bo Nix in the fourth.
So I just want you to know that someone who's watching Bonkers Broncos has commenting, and this is really for you, Captain. I think you need to remedy this. It says,
great.
It says you should all be drinking German beer, not beer, beer spelled B-I-E-R, in celebration of Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that's a choice. I had some Oktoberfest last week, but I am drinking the 24-ounce super tall boy Coors Lights just to reset the vibe. I believe somebody commented earlier, John, that is Boozecast really a boozecast if you're drinking beer?
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Now, you could if you had a hooch cast, you might have to stick to hooch. But if it's booze, beer can be booze. It can be hard liquor. It can be whatever. It could be wine if you want it to be.
Toilet wine.
But back to the Oktoberfest thing. It seems like it's September to me. Now, don't the Germans do Oktoberfest in October? Isn't that when it's October? It's Oktoberfest. I could be wrong.
I don't know. It's like pumpkin spice latte season. It just kind of happens, and it shows up one day, and you're like, "Hey, this is now when I'm supposed to do that." I guess now is that time.
Okay, well, Bonkers Broncos. I was just at the Four Noses Brewery this Saturday. It's a brewery up kind of in North Denver, north-ish Denver, and they make really good beer. And I bought their stuff in cans. I drink nothing but the Oktoberfest there. So I just want you to know that I did drink the Oktoberfest beer, and it was very good. So I just have to drink what's on hand. I'm still cleaning out the party stash, and this is a 7.4. It's going to do the job, I think, by the end of the show. So thanks for your concern.
Hey, John, but on that note, what was that brewery that you and I met up with was it early? It was earlier this year, wasn't it? We went to a German beer place that had a wine place attached to it in Denver.
Oh, when you were here there recently.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that was called.
There was German beer there, and I figured that tapped the cask.
Bonkers Broncos says that no, Oktoberfest is right now. They've been 6 times. That's fantastic. I would love to go one time. My pal Tyler Q is saying, "Hey, bud, don't Kimmel on the live stream," and I guarantee you I will not. Although great way to get some attention. Let me tell you, if you want to get some attention for the show, you could say something stupid that would ignite the chuds. But
that's what I do, John. I spread false facts about the Broncos like I did last week, just to get people riled up.
That's all right. So back to the game. We got off topic talking about beer, but it is the booze up. So, cheers.
Take time for the fans, my friend.
So that game, that was everyone was really, really upset by that game, mainly because of the defense. I don't think they were prepared for those guys. And I think they kind of misjudged Daniel Jones, or Danny Dollars, as my friend Mario Vitanzi called him, which we're going to have Mario on soon. As soon as we get everything worked out, we'll have Mario on here.
I love it.
He can give us the inside scoop. But
do we get free massages?
Huh?
Do we get free massages from Mario?
Well, if you want a virtual one, I guess it depends. It depends how that works. But Danny Dollars, I don't think they were ready for him, and I don't think they understood. Everyone thought the week before was a fluke, which normally you would think with him, but I don't think they could really. They didn't really understand what he was going to do, and they kind of got run over on. That's fine. That's going to happen. I just think they just weren't prepared for some reason, probably back due to coaching. But they still look decent, right? They put up what was the score? It was
28-29.
28 points. Not bad considering the week before. It looks like they couldn't move the ball. So I'm fine with that. They got hosed on a funky call at the end, which, again, I was like, as soon as it happened, I was like, this is over. Fuck this. We know how this is going to go. So yeah, they should have won that game, and I think that they can't blame that on the penalty call. They have to blame that on them just not being able to stop them at the end when they should have. I think they missed a field goal too at one point too, right? Yeah. So all good. It happens. We'll see next week, and we'll preview that game. At the end here, of course. But I don't know. I just think it's funny because with the fantasy space, and I've got some fantasy stuff I want to talk about kind of in that realm. You listen to people talk and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's done. You got to go with this guy, blah, 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 blah. Well, the next week happens and the total opposite happens. And they're just like, well, shit, I don't know. It's like, so last week it was for the Seahawks. It was, well, Zach Charbonnet's taking over, man. Zach Charbonnet's the guy. You got Kenneth Walker. He's done. So what happens this week? Kenneth Walker gets most of the carries. They didn't do great, but he was back in the mix. Then they got to come back and be like, oh, well, I was wrong, this and that. Same thing with the Broncos. Everyone's doom and gloom, and it really is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're going to see up and down, especially with a youngish quarterback. I call him youngish because I think he's like 35 years old. 35-year-old second year player. But it's going to be up and down. Ideally, you want to see what the kind of the patterns are. You don't want to see the defense give up that many points. That would be ideal. And if you generally by midseason, you're going to kind of know what you got. And it's fine. They had a little hiccup. I just wish that they were 2-0 along with the Chargers, while the Chiefs were 0-2. Can we talk about how great it is that the Chiefs are 0-2? Isn't that fantastic?
It's literally one of my favorite GIFs I posted. I think it was yesterday, of Travis Kelce just kind of sitting on the sidelines, all sad. Not that it makes me severely disappointed that, oh, look at this. That is phenomenal. Yeah. Where did you get that shirt?
I just ordered it. I saw it online. Yeah.
Oh, John, that's some merch we got to put together for the website.
You don't have a Dog the Bounty Hunter as Taylor Swift shirt?
No, but I feel like there's a lot of monetization options there for the podcast.
This is already, somebody made this, so they're already making money on it. They made my money on it. So it's great. There was a picture of Mahomes, and he's like, I think he's like hugging Jalen Hurts at the end of the game. And Mahomes just is looking off in the distance. Like, he's just like, I can't believe it. And it's fantastic. It's so good. You know what? If you win and you're cool about it, that I understand you want to talk shit, but if you win and you're cool about it, people aren't going to care too much. But when you start to lose and the shine comes off, well, guess what? People are going to be lining up to give you shit.
Oh, it's delicious, right? Nobody likes to eat more shit than somebody who's been talking it for number of years.
It's fantastic.
And I think, if anybody in Broncos country is listening, this is the year to just keep your mouth shut. We just want to make it to the playoffs again. Please don't stomp on other teams' franchises. We're just now getting our training wheels off. And I got to say, I don't know about you, John, but I think, to your point, this week's game, heartbreaking, disappointing, all the things. But I think exactly like you said, I'd rather have the offense and defense kind of swap places as far as who's on, who's off. Because I think, like we talked about in episode 1, it's going to take 6 weeks for this team to gel. And then after you get past game 6, if things aren't working, you've got big problems. If things are starting to work, you better figure out what's working against other teams so you can be successful in the playoffs.
Well, that's what I'm telling myself in fantasy football, because in the one big league that we have, I'm 0-2. I'm like the Chiefs. I'm a loser like the Chiefs. And but you have to ride the wave. You go, okay, I drafted this for a certain reason. You have to see. You can't panic. You can't start trading people, because you have to just say, this is going to click at some point. So that's the whole thing. You have to the regression, positive and negative. You have to ride that wave, and I think the Broncos will do that. I think what I've seen in the first 2 weeks has been promising on both fronts, but they're going to have a real test this week, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. We're going to kick that can down the road. We're not going to talk about that right now because we want you to stick around and listen to our hot takes about the Broncos Chargers. The Colts did cover that. They won, so they covered that point spread, but that was only like a 2.5 point spread. So the Broncos, even if the time ran out, even they missed that kick and time ran out, the Colts still would have covered, right? That was 2 points. So yeah, right. They kicked a field goal. Yeah. So, crazy. I mean, like, how do they get that? I don't understand how they get those spreads like that. They're just diabolical how close they are. I mean, obviously it went, a little bit over, but like with the Colts winning, but how do they nail that so close? It's so crazy. Are they a bunch of wizards? Are they wizards with a cauldron sitting back there in the sports book?
No, John, I really think it's kind of like this one Instagram account that I follow. Vegas calls and they go, "Hey, we're really going to lose our shirts on this game if you don't do something to fix this fast." And thus you end up getting a leverage call. I think that's how they cover their bets.
You know what? I would not be surprised. I've seen worse happen. So
I mean, think about how many crazy finishes we've already had in week 3. Like Tampa Bay, Buffalo, like there have been some crazy ass game finishes this week, the past 2 weeks. And so here we are in week 3, which is supposed to be, like, in my opinion, the beginning of the season next week. Cause I'm an old school football guy. This is still preseason to me. It's interesting, but not that interesting.
Well, you make a good point. I will always point to the refs as being corrupt and bad at their jobs. But the Colts are probably covering either way, so that one didn't really matter. So, but there's probably been some Chiefs games where I think they got the call and their little earpiece buzzed, and it was like Roger Goodell going, "Hey, you got a call. Like if somebody looks at Pat wrong, call a penalty. Just give them a little bit of look." This stuff can happen. When the Nuggets won the title, when they won the championship a couple years ago, in the final game, there was this ridiculous call where Aaron Gordon got kicked in the nuts, okay? Very clearly got kicked in the balls. They called the foul on him, and it was a point where the Nuggets hadn't quite – I think they were winning, but they hadn't quite blown it open yet. They made this call. They reviewed it. They watched it. Everybody watching the game watched it. Across the world watched this. You could see him clearly. The guy, he swung his leg out and kicked Aaron Gordon in the nuts. I don't think he meant to do it, but he ended up kicking him in the balls. They called the foul on Aaron Gordon. The ref sat there and looked at it, watched it, saw exactly what we all saw, and he still called the foul on Aaron Gordon. My theory is that at that point they were like, this is our last chance to give Miami a little bit of momentum, just so they can stay in it, because they're trying to extend it. They're like, Denver's going to win this whole thing, but if we can extend it, they're probably told you need to extend the games as long as possible, because obviously they want as many games on TV as they can, right?
Yeah.
It was very clearly a call that the guy watched, and he just went, I'm being told to do the opposite of this. He totally did it. It was the most baffling thing ever. Usually if it's like, oh, you can't really tell, it kind of looks like this, I don't know, then they can make that call and have it not be as obvious. This was so obvious that they were trying to extend this game and this series that it was like dumbfounding. So it does happen. And whether it's their own gambling interests or it's like the NBA or the NFL to go, we need to keep these guys in it. I firmly believe that they were told, get these Chiefs games going. We got to keep people excited about watching the Chiefs. We want the Chiefs to do well. We want Patrick Mahomes to throw some touchdowns.
Potential three-peater. You got to have the three-peater in there. He's
a fantastic football player. He's really good. A joy to watch when he's cooking. He is. He's very talented. I will give him that. Trust me, I hate the Chiefs, fucking top down from the owners to the coaches to the players. I hate them all. Oh, sorry, I don't want to get any trouble.
Don't get us canceled in episode 3, John.
People are going to get canceled. Things are going to lose my job because I said I hated the Chiefs, America's team. Somebody said something about the Cowboys really are America's team because they're just awful and they got an old man running them who doesn't know what he's doing, something like that. And, I was like, yeah, it's about right.
Well, it could have been Jim Irsay. You never know.
So Pat Mahomes, awesome player, really good. But like they really went all in on him, and they said we got to keep these games. People love the Chiefs because casual fans with Taylor Swift, all that, they were like coming. They wanted to watch this. They have a vested interest to keep the Chiefs rocking and rolling, right?
Agreed.
Absolutely do. And so any chance they could kind of keep Pat on the field, they would do it. And it's very obvious. I don't think it's gambling per se, other than just keeping the hot team, keeping them hot. That's all it is, No,
I mean, look at the news recently, John. I mean, we also have an asteroid that could be potentially a spaceship coming towards Earth in November. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But
that's Nibiru. That's Planet X. It's fine. It's foretold. I've read tons of books on this already.
Yeah, we had this thing back in the day. I think when we were in college, it was the people who ate the killer pudding and ended up going into the starship. In Carlsbad.
They wore all the same shoes.
Yeah, they're all purple. They were the all purple team.
Yeah. Jesus. Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate. There you go. That's going deep in the archives. Look that up, kids. If you were born prior to.
I think I was 25 then, so I remember it. So
it's quite vivid. I think I was in Kearney, Nebraska at the time. That's why it's so vivid. Nobody forgets Kearney, Nebraska. Don't know where we're at, but yes, I will agree with you, John. I think people like to find reasons for good conspiracy theories, and nothing is better than blaming the refs for a bullshit call when the Broncos lose. And I will leave it at that.
Well, let's leave that game in the past, and we will let the dead bury the dead, and we'll keep that one back there. That was just an unfortunate thing. I think if the offense was a little bit sharper, they would look pretty good. Defense has to be sharper. We've already established that. I watched a lot of it from through a window because I was working on the house. I was repairing screen doors. Have you ever repaired a screen door before?
It's the worst.
It fucking sucks. But if you've done it enough, you get good at it. If you haven't done it before, it's a fucking nightmare. I've done it a bunch of times, so I was pretty well versed, and I had already done one the week before, or a couple days before. So I had to do 2 more, and I was just like banging them out. But I got a big window. I was looking at the game through the window, so I wasn't watching it as close as I could. I did at the end. I got to it and watched it and saw the horrible field goal call. But so I can't tell you exactly why the defense sucked like it did, but they definitely, I think Surtain was maybe hurt, and they seem to go after him quite a bit, which is just odd. Like, you don't go after him unless you're
asking for it. Yeah.
Well, he's laboring a little bit, right? So, that aspect of it, I don't know. I'd have to grind some film, if you know what I'm saying, but I'm not doing that. They'll be fine. They're going to have their hands full this week. And again, we're going to kick that can on down the road. Let me change the topic a little bit. I talked about fantasy just recently, but I had just finished watching The League again. Have you watched The League before?
Oh, it's my favorite show. I'm so sad they actually discontinued it. They need
have you watched it again since the first run?
I would say not recently, but I do enjoy a good hot clip that comes across Instagram every once in a while.
I would suggest watching the whole series again. It's very funny. Those guys are all really good. If you haven't seen it, fantasy football is important to the story, but it's not really the story. They've basically adopted the Seinfeld kind of model of, here are these awful people talking about all this bullshit, right? That's kind of what it is. And then you can just watch them do horrible things and get burned by it.
Yo, Bagoya!
Yeah, they steal Jay Cutler's wife's breast milk from the baby class, and then they find out later, and they're trying to be friends with him, and they find like, you're not going to steal the fucking breast milk. Come on, man, that's horrible. And it's just bad. It's bad people doing bad things and getting burned by it. That's comedy. That's good stuff. But the fantasy aspect of it is fairly negligible. I mean, they're in an 8-person league. It sucks. I mean, nobody has 8-person league. That's for amateurs. They kind of lean into it later on. So I've watched it. There's 7 seasons. I don't think I watched like the last couple seasons for some reason. But they really kind of lean in the 8-person league thing a little bit later, because I think they realize how kind of lame it is. But I think logistically, it's too hard to have a show with that many people that would have to be involved with it. You know what I mean? So still, it's very good. People always say, oh, it couldn't make this today. They might not be able to make this today. There's a few things in there, some things they joke about that probably they'd have to end up maybe altering a little bit. But I hope they do like a follow-up. I hope they do like a follow-up season. 10, I think it ended in 2015. So 10 years later, they could do a follow-up season. I think it'd be really good. But great show.
It was kind of like when Seinfeld was entered in the Curb Your Enthusiasm universe, right? Like,
yes,
there should be this moment, because to your point, I think one of my favorite things about the show is, I don't know if it was the first season, but second or third season, they started integrating, to your point, I totally forgot about the Jay Cutler episode. That was so good.
Yeah.
It's so topical too, considering he just got busted for a DUI, and I mean, who knows what he was drinking? Maybe breast milk was on the menu. Sorry, I couldn't not say that.
Broncos. Hey, Broncos. I'm glad you're hanging in there. I appreciate it. But now he's giving me shit. First, he was giving you shit about your beer choice. Now he's asking why I'm fixing a screen door on a Broncos Sunday. I can see the TV. I can see it through the big window. I got a big old window. I'm watching it. I'm using the thing. You buy the little wheel.
You buy the non-cutter pizza cutter to get the little trim in there.
You got to buy one because you know what? If you don't buy one, the next time you got to buy a fix a screen door, you're gonna be pissed because you don't have that. You're gonna be pissed. But I can see the TV. It's fine. I'm looking up. I'm using the pizza cutter, getting the little rubber thing in there.
I side with Broncos, man. You gotta be vested. Look, I sit down, I take the time, I make sure I give a 2-week notice to the wifey about, hey, remember, it's football season. I gotta watch the game.
Sure.
The one question I have for you, and I don't know if you felt this way this week, but I was like, you know what? I need to take a step back from the social instead of like commenting on every play. I think this game's going to be closer. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I want it to be exciting and not, throw a loser tweet or skeet or whatever we're calling them nowadays out there. But when you're watching the game now, do you feel the necessity to like tweet on every play or talk about it? Or, if you're on the Catterday, or is it the cats? The reason you're changing the screen? Is it the cats? Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding. I started to do it. I started to drool, and I was like, oh, shit. Wait, what about the cats?
Is the reason you're replacing the screens because of the cats? Is this the cat walk-in thing?
No, certainly like animals like jumping up have clawed it. And
you got a lot of animals in your backyard that are clawing screen. Where do you live?
No, the animals get out. Animals getting out. Well, this is a whole other thing that we'll talk about in a time, but probably moving soon. So, this is a whole other thing. Yeah, we'll have to talk about this another time. But I'm trying to prepare the house for certain things. Yes, and the screen doors were part of my list that I had to get done.
Well, it's an aesthetic thing. There are things you got to do.
Well, yeah, somebody like wants to walk out to the nice backyard, and you got a fucking big hole in the screen door. I mean, it looks like shit. So,
do you just tell them that's when you go pee? I mean, I'd be in the backyard all the time.
Well, they'll see a big hole on the ratty screen doors, and they'll say, "What's up with this? We don't want this." And I'll say, Broncos told me to fucking not do this. He told me to watch the game instead. Sorry, loser. spend your money elsewhere.
That's because Sunday's a holy day, John. I mean, Jesus, we all know this. Living in
I
Denver.
understand that. Yes, Saturdays are when you should get your choring done, because
That's
Saturdays
right. You're choring.
There's no football on Saturdays, so you should get your choring done then.
Not any good football. There's Pop Warner football before real football.
You know what? I went to my son's high school game on Friday. He was getting the honor of becoming the homecoming king.
Yeah, that guy, he's making the school council, and now he's homecoming queen.
Oh, he's president. He's not still school council. He's president.
Damn, John.
Yeah, so yeah, he's killing it. But I watched some really bad football that night, and that's why I don't watch college football, because it's basically the same fucking thing. It's a little bit, the kids are a little bit bigger and a little bit faster. This was seriously like they were like the other team were all a foot taller than these kids. And I was like, I've never really played football, but maybe just as a kid, but I know that when everybody's bigger than you, it's not going to go well.
Doesn't work out well.
It does not go well. So,
no, as a 6'3" white guy, I remember, I think it was junior high or maybe it was high school. I was playing offensive line and I bumped into a big Samoan dude. I didn't go anywhere. He didn't move. Well, I went someplace. He didn't move, is what I should say.
Typically, when the movable object meets the irresistible horse.
That's right. Here we go. Seventh grade physics on the Booze Cast. This is gonna go really well.
It's bad times. Speaking of fantasy, and then maybe we can get back into the Broncos a little bit. So I don't know how many fantasy podcasts you listen to. Probably not many, based on your fantasy prowess, right?
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
I have my award here, John. So that's rude.
That's right. You know what? I was just wondering about your trophy. I thought, does he keep the trophy nearby? I was hope he has it. So
it's a constant reminder of how well I am at fantasy football.
It is the Captain Bronco bringing up the rear award, right? That's what it's called.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And it's a horse's ass. Anyway, so you probably know who Ross Tucker is, right? You know Ross Tucker?
Absolutely no clue.
No, Ross Tucker's he was a lineman. He played for a bunch of teams. He's on a bunch of the broadcasts. He's like a color commentator.
Okay.
You've certainly heard him talk on one of the games. So he had a fantasy show for a long time. He's got a couple different podcasts. He does like gambling. He talks about college football, but he had a fantasy show, and it's been on for a long time. And it's always been really good, because he'd always get on a guy who was super knowledgeable, and he'd ask him questions, and he didn't know much. He'd just ask guy questions. This dude, and they just ramble on and go, oh, well, this. It was always really good information. It was concise. So lately I'm like looking for it. And I'm like, well, why am I getting the college football show? I don't want the college football show. I was like, I hate college football. It fucking sucks. And then, the gambling show, maybe once in a while I'd check out, but then it was just like, NFL previews. And I was like, I don't want this. And I was like, what's going on? So not being on Twitter, and I think he's still big on Twitter, I had no idea what happened. So I found like an email for the show. And I said, hey, the feed's acting really funny. I'm not getting the actual fantasy show. I'm getting these other ones. Is there something wrong with it? And they're like, oh no, we just did away with that. I'm like, it's not even the third week, and they just did away with it. And I was like, I really like that show. I was into it. I listened to it all the time. So apparently that wasn't enough, and they just were like out of here. So very bizarre. So that's why we are providing quality content every week, and we will do that throughout the Broncos season.
It's platinum content, John. It's platinum. I stole that from you. I figure we got to keep the moniker going.
That's right. Cheers to that.
Cheers to you, my platinum friend.
Yes, sir. So before we get into the preview of the Broncos game, the upcoming Broncos game,
the San Diego Super Losers.
That's right. Your San Diego Super Losers.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
That's right. Well, you're a big Padres fan, so I mean, it only makes sense that maybe once they moved to LA, you were like, oh, no more. I'm not a fan anymore.
Oh, we'll talk about that later, John.
I keep wanting to call him San Diego, and
Everybody does.
I think I should. They should be in San Diego. I feel for the fine people of San Diego. They should have their charters.
But they don't have the peeners, dude. Look, the peeners are doing it for free. And, the owners of the Chargers are a different breed.
Well, I think the peeners have really lit the fuse as far as how an owner should go about their business. And they're basically like, hey, we're rich as hell, and we're just gonna take care of this on our own. We don't want to wait around for somebody to show up and give us a bid on something. We're just gonna take care of it.
That's right. Big peen energy.
Those are my peeners, baby. Those are my peeners right there. I love my peeners. Yeah. So yeah, what's the guy's name? What's his name? Brandon Spano that owns the Chargers. No, not Brandon Spano.
It's not the same guy who owns the Denver bar, is it?
I did. No, his name's Spanos.
Yes, it's the Spanos family.
Yeah, Spanos family. Those guys suck. And sharing a stadium with the Rams is so lame. That is just so lame. That's just so like bargain basement. I mean, that's the Rams stadium. I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
well, but what do you think about the Giants and the Jets? Like they share. So like, which one's the worst team in that situation? Like the Chargers, I get the Rams because it's a Kroenke bid, right?
Well, that I like the Rams.
No. That the Rams are owned by the Kroenkes, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So
I mean, there's big money there. It's
yeah,
the Spanos are the stepchildren. But in the Giants-Jets situation, like, what do you got there? Like, who's the stepchild in that relationship?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to know I am a Kroenke man. Okay, did you know this about me?
I know you're a diehard, my friend.
I am a Kroenke man, and I'm all for all the Kroenke teams, even the Rams. I'm down with them. Mr. Kroenke, he built this stadium. And he was like, okay, yeah, losers, if you want to come play some football here. I don't know what they get out of it. I guess they probably get some money out of it. They should just be like, go find your own fucking stadium, guys. This is stupid.
Just remember, the Chargers are playing in a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Point.
So they suck. But yeah, God bless my peeners. We love them. We hope they their reign is like 1,000 years. That's what we hope for. So.
Keep coming with the big peen energy. That's right. I love it.
Big peen energy. Now, what were we talking about before the peeners?
I don't think it really mattered. I think we were excited about the peeners.
Don't you have a segment you want to get to before we get to
we want to talk about getting all lubed up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a great intro this week because I didn't have time to connect one, but this is a new segment that we're going to do every week. Every week, I'm going to come up with a new segment. This segment is all lubed up for John. Not that we're always lubed up for John, but we want to get John's hot takes on some situations where the Broncos really got it in the rear without any lube, if you will. So beyond, this past Sunday's game where we definitely got no lubed up, if you had to think of 3 instances in Broncos history where we really got the shaft with no lube, what 3 choices would you make?
Ooh, well, that's tough. I mean, I think most of the time they've caused their own demise, right? They've done it. So I don't know if that really fits. There's been various times where they've screwed themselves. The one that immediately springs to mind is the Ravens-Broncos playoff game at home in Peyton Manning's first year. That wasn't like them getting screwed. They just fucked up, Very, very similar, not as catastrophic, but is similar to this past week where it's like, you brought this on yourself. You did this to yourself. You didn't have to do it this way, but that's how it went. I say that knowing full well that, these guys are all trying their best, and I don't think that they're willing this to happen. I just think it's one of those things that it's just bad shit goes down.
Yeah.
There was something that happened. It must have been 2 seasons ago, or maybe it was the first time they played the Chiefs. I think it was the first time they played the Chiefs last season. And there was something that happened with it wasn't even a penalty. Somebody did something. Oh, they were going to they were going to kick a field goal to win.
It was the missed field goal, goddammit.
And the Chiefs blocked it. Yeah, that, and again, it was the same thing. I was like, you didn't have to be in that position, but you put yourself in that position. I can't think of anything where the refs really screwed him. I'm sure there's an example out there.
It doesn't need to be refs necessarily. It was just like, hey, we got screwed, and this upset me, and it scarred me for life.
Broncos is still in here. He's saying Broncos versus Saints, no QB. Oh, they played. Didn't they play? Oh no, they had their dude who was like the wide receiver was playing quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, barely serviceable. I mean, that might even be a compliment. And God bless him. That was a tough position to be in. But they didn't quite have the position covered, which is pretty rare for that to happen. But again, that's their problem. There wasn't much them getting screwed, with bad calls. I think there's been various other ones, other teams happens to, but I just think that there's a few along the way, but I think those are the ones that spring to mind.
Those are all good. I'll give you three quick ones where I felt like we got screwed. They all personally affected me. I will say the Super Bowl where the Broncos got schooled by the Redskins. I was at that Super Bowl. That was a rough one. Doesn't necessarily have to be a referee or zebra-induced loss. It was just a shitty loss, and I feel like screwed that team. I would say, just as Broncos said, the Jaguars-Broncos playoff game was awful. Totally that was one of the worst of all time. I remember being at the airport. There's certain things you just remember where you were when those moments were going down. I was in the line picking somebody up at the airport, and I go, I can't listen to this anymore. It's awful. And I would say the third last one was last week. That call was unnecessary and it was garbage. And I'll never forget where I was.
If really that's what you're going for, I think there was, and I think I brought this up maybe in the first week, complaining about the Chiefs. There was one, I think maybe the season or two before, where they had the Chiefs beat. They were winning, or they had them where they wanted them, and they just started dicking around. Start dicking around, and I was like, oh, you can't do that against these guys. I go, they smell that. They fucking come alive when you start fucking up. And sure enough, that's what happened. So there's been so before the Peyton Manning Ravens loss in his first season, there wasn't much after that because, the Super Bowl was really bad. That was a terrible one.
Let's not remember the Seattle Sea Chickens.
Yeah, we blacked that. We blacked that one out. But really, there wasn't too much. It was a lot of winning. It was great. And then just in the last 10 years, it's just been nothing but horrible. It was all fucking losses. So there wasn't really anything like remarkable or anything that of note that you would pay attention to. So
it was just all bad.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. But I do remember that like Clinton Portis scored like 5 touchdowns against the Chiefs one day.
Was that a good era?
That was fantastic. And that's one of the things, like the Chiefs fans are always living in the past. Like, well, we did this, we did that. Broncos fans don't even remember that. They're like, yeah, whatever. We beat you guys all the time. It's cool. Like a phenomenal, like one of the greatest running back performances of all time. And people are like, yeah, it's cool. Whatever. Just the Chiefs. It's all right. So, it's,
what's funny about that era when you look back at it? It's like, you remember we had Clinton Portis. And that guy will be infamous for the teary-eyed one shot that came down his face that one day.
No, that was no Sean Moreno.
Oh, that was no Sean Moreno.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Clinton Portis, who was very good in his prime, and the Broncos got traded, and then he got traded, and all of a sudden he started wearing like funny wigs and big sunglasses.
But people forget who we got for Clinton Portis. Champ Bailey. Like, how many times do the Broncos end up winning on a trade like that? Like, that was a big win because Clinton Portis's production went down after that.
It did. He was pretty much done shortly after that. And he started wearing wigs and like big glasses. He looked like he was trying to be Bootsy Collins from Parliament, and it just wasn't pulling it off. And I was like, oh my God, I guess the Broncos got the better end of this. But
he was Cam Newton before he was Cam Newton, right?
He was. It was like he was cosplaying as Cam Newton. Cam Newton's very serious about it, but Clinton Portis was just like, hey, I'm just dressing goofy, trying to make things fun. It's like, no, it sucks. Champ Bailey, I really wish Champ Bailey had won a Super Bowl. I'm really bummed that he didn't because he was really fucking good. I was there when he intercepted Tom Brady and he took it back to the house in that playoff game. That was really fucking great. It was a fantastic moment. It was good stuff.
God, we owned Tom Brady in those years, and it was so nice. Like every time the AFC West champ or the AFC Championship came to Denver, just you got pwned. It was great.
Real quick, Tom Brady. He's part owner of the Raiders, but he's also he's an NFL analyst, and everyone's like
analyst.
He's an analyst. They're crying foul because he's supposed to be impartial, but here he is up in the Raiders coaching booth. He's talking to the coaches. He's doing all this stuff. That's not really impartial when if he's going around talking to other teams. He's getting all sorts of inside intel. He could be using that against them for the Raiders. It's obviously a big conflict of interest. I hope they sort it out, and I hope they give him the boot. It'd be great. But when you saw him, they showed a picture of him in the booth, and he looked like you remember Ray Liotta from Goodfellas when he's really deep into the cocaine psychosis and the helicopters are coming.
Yeah,
and he's like looking around. And he just looks horrible. And like they intentionally made him look so bad. That's what Tom looked like. Tom's gotten real thin in the face, done a bunch of plastic surgery. Now, Ray Liotta was a real handsome guy. And even in his sweaty cocaine fucking delirium, he still looked handsome.
He was still good doing it.
Oh, yeah. He still looked good doing it. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Also in the league, by the way. He was a guest star in the league. He was in there for like 2 episodes, I think.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Tons of guest stars. Larry David was in the league at the very end. Yeah, at the very end. He played the older version of Nick Kroll's character.
I do need to go back and rewatch this.
I was like shocked. I was like, I had no idea Larry David was in this.
Those last 2 seasons were a little rough when they bought the Malibu house that around or whatever. That was the Rafi era.
Yeah, there's some okay stuff, but but fuck Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady.
You know what? But still, I rooted for Tom Brady to beat the Chiefs, and that's what a honest to God normal Bronco fan should do. You don't root for the Chiefs in any circumstance. You will root for Tom Brady over the Chiefs. Even though I don't like Tom Brady, I think he's one of the greatest of all time, but fuck Tom Brady. I would root for him to win a Super Bowl if it was over the Chiefs any day of the week. So
have we flopped, John? I feel like there's an in-depth Broncos country question here.
Okay.
Have we gotten to the point where we dislike Tom Brady more than we dislike the Raiders and dislike the Chiefs? Like, where is the hierarchy of hatred now? Like, Raiders used to be on top. Chiefs were in there, and then Tom Brady was kind of somewhere towards the bottom. I feel like that what's the word I want? That level ship. That's not even a word. But you tell me, John. You tell me.
No, I know what you mean. And granted, everybody hated Tom Brady. They didn't want him to succeed. He's a cheater. He for sure is. He's a cheater. He will do anything to get away from his family, like most NFL coaches. But Andy Reid, him and Andy Reid should hang out together. Andy Reid would do any reason to fucking get away from his family.
Just like the barbecue sauce, my friend.
So Tom definitely hated, and I think a lot of people went overboard hating Tom Brady because they were rooting for the fucking Chiefs. Like, come on, man, we can't do that. You cannot wish the Chiefs anything good. Yes, the Raiders were probably top of the heap back then because the Chiefs were never good. The Chiefs were they would contend a little bit, but they weren't that really good. The Raiders were pretty decent in 2000. Isn't that when they went to the Super Bowl? Wasn't it in 2000 or right around there? Yeah. Rich Gannon. I think they were pretty good then. Trust me, I hate the Raiders. I hate the Raiders. Raiders fans are horrible creeps, but I respect Raiders fans way more than I respect Chiefs fans.
Wow, that's a deep thought by Jack Handy there.
Well, sorry to get deep on you, buddy, but that's how it is because Raiders fans have sucked for a long time, and they're still obnoxious as hell, right? Chiefs fans were like, they got good for a bit here, and then they just were like, they just acted like they created the game, and it was like, okay, come on.
Did the fans create the game, or did the spouses and brothers create the game and Taylor Swift create the game? Like, I figured there's some hype engines behind the Chiefs train that maybe shouldn't be given so much hype.
Well, Taylor Swift, don't forget, Taylor Swift was not that involved. She was involved a little later. Like, she actually has kind of brought the empire down, I think, which is
I agree. But you had Britney, right? And then you had Patrick's brother, and they kind of threw some wood on the fire. And then I figured, Taylor came in there towards the end, and we're like, just put some fucking butane on this bitch.
Well, all great empires meet their end, right? And
Andor season 2, watch it.
Yeah. Or America. It's
we'll see how this concludes.
Yeah, and this one might end horribly too. Yeah, well, I just think that I can't include the Chargers in that because that's pathetic. But
it's like your little brother. You're like, you're fine.
I do think the Chiefs have taken the place of the Raiders in Broncos country lore just because of their success. Granted, they've been successful. We will not debate that.
No.
But they've been nothing but fucking obnoxious cocks the whole time that they've been successful. So that has earned them a higher level of hatred from me. Again, I think at this point, I'm okay with the Raiders. I don't want the Raiders to win. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that shit to happen. But Raiders fans, cool, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I think there's more common ground with Raiders fans than there is with Chiefs fans. That's I think my final say on the matter.
I would agree with that. I would say as a man who looks at the reels a lot, when I'm going to bed or going on the bathroom and you're seeing what's going around the internets, I will say there has been a lot more Raiders ownership of I saw this great reel the other day, this Raiders fan of hey, reminiscing about the last time we won the Super Bowl. And he's walking down the food aisles of his latest grocery store and he's picking up baby food. That's when he remembers winning.
That he was
as the Raiders. It was when he couldn't even remember shit. He was still pissing himself.
Well, before the Chiefs won their recent Super Bowl, it was fucking Lyndon Johnson was president.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it was called the Super Bowl then. So let's not pretend we we got 4 Super Bowls. No. That one doesn't count because that was all white people then. They didn't know black people then.
And I feel this is when the booze cast or the booze up, whatever we're calling this show now, could get good because I feel like there's so many tangents we can go by. Can we talk about Nicolas Cage playing John Madden? What is that about?
He looks like him. It's great.
I'm excited, but it could be terrible. It's Con Air on a football team.
I think we need to start this an hour later, and I think we need to start drinking independently before. I cracked a beer before just to set everything up, but I think you're right. I think it gets a little looser as we go. Look, we're coming up on an hour. We got to get into the.
We got 6 minutes to do the Charger Bronco game there.
Yeah, we got to get into the preview next week. But this has gone much better because we can hear each other. We can riff. We can riff off each other.
Love it.
It's very good. So yeah. So
Broncos, we're a lot less Mitch. I got a bad joke here for you, John.
Uh-oh.
We're a lot less McGlinchy. You see what I did there? You don't get it. McGlinchy, the offensive lineman, we're a lot less Glinchy.
I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
Your Denver Broncos are traveling to fucking Los Angeles, somewhere in Los Angeles, east of fucking Los Angeles. I think
it's where a damn horse running track was. That's what it is. It's not even a football stadium. That's
how far out of Los Angeles proper is it?
Oh, from where I live in Temecula, it's a good solid probably hour and a half, depending.
But if you were in downtown Los Angeles, how long would it take you?
With traffic? God, now you're adding some stuff in. A good 30, 45 minutes. Especially on game day.
That's not too bad.
No, but you want to know what is bad? You know how much they charge you to tailgate there?
Wait, hold on. They charge you to tailgate?
Oh yeah, like if you want in the parking lot, John, that's a sweet C note for you.
Oh, really?
Like just for parking. Like
Oh,
it's ridiculous. You watch NFL in the morning, like they're filming right there. Good for them. Football has gotten entirely way too expensive, as we talked about in the first episode. So
it really has. It's a lot of things, like a lot of sports have, and they really need to kind of scale that back because they have kind of priced the common man out of it. And
I
what
agree.
you want is you want the common man involved, because the common man is fun. The common man is a good fan. You don't want the rich fucking people with their pumpkin spice lattes and their personal seat licenses to dominate the scene. It will not be fun. It won't be a good environment. You need to keep it. I really hope our peeners, they keep something like kind of what the Rockies did, and they keep a certain segment of seats that are cheap. The Rockies
keep the schmegma out of the stadium, my friends.
They want to keep the riffraff out. They want to keep basically the members of Broncos country that look like they're Raiders fans, but they're not. They want to keep them out, but you need them in. You need them in. You need their voice. So I hope they keep some cheap seats for those people, just like the Rockies did, because no one wants to see the Rockies, but you go see the Rockies for real cheap. You can just go in there and check it out. They need to do it for the Broncos. I hope they do. So anyway, your Denver Broncos against your San Diego Chargers.
Stop it.
This is really it's a paradox. I don't know.
No, it's not a paradox. There's no paradox here, John. I may live here. Anyway, I may live here. I don't support it, but I will say
they're the LA Chargers. They're the LA Chargers now.
I got to say this. The LA Chargers actually invited me to their new practice facility. The Denver Broncos have never done such a thing. So, 0.1 for the Chargers there. Hey, Peeners, looking at you over here. But I will say again, we're at a 2.5 point underdog on this one. Look, it's the Chargers. It's going to be interesting. They got some tight ends. That is always what concerns me with the Denver defense. You start throwing in some good tight ends into the mix. This is when the Broncos were at their best. Look at Shannon Sharp, Noah Fant. Like when we were unstoppable, we had a hard, good, tight end on there blocking or receiving. So I'm a little concerned about this one in LA, but I favor the winning. I favor the winners in life, John. And so I'm going to go the Broncos by 5.
Broncos by 5. So you should go place a bet and do the little thing where you can dial it down and get those 5 points. It'll probably pay out a ton, because I've got I thought it was 3. The Chargers were going to win by 3. I would say that's accurate. I would say it's either or. I think the Broncos can win by 3, or the Chargers win by 3. I think it's going to be close. The Chargers have not been able to run the ball very well the last 2 games. And I know this because I took the Chargers rookie running back, Omarion Hampton, as one of my lead running backs in fantasy. And it's not paying off. So I am very aware of the Chargers running woes. So if they do have to throw the ball, fantastic. That's great. That should keep it down. I don't know what the over-under was. It was.
I was just looking that up.
It's 46. So basically, they're just saying it's going to be like, a 21-23 game, kind of around there with the Chargers. That seems about right, but I think it could flip-flop on there. So anyway, it's in LA, which the Chargers don't have a home field advantage because they are not in San Diego anymore. And so there's going to be a lot of Bronco fans there.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. It's going to be
rich
great.
Ones, if you can afford $100 for parking.
Exactly. They got to spend a C note to park first. But those people don't really tailgate, do they? They're not real tailgaters.
I don't consider them some of the South Stand's finest.
No, they're not. They're gonna have a shuttle drop them off, and they're gonna go up to their fancy suite where they're gonna have some microbrews and some tapas. Is what they're gonna have.
Who doesn't love club level with pine tasting IPAs?
That's
John?
right.
Not this guy.
And they're gonna clap politely as their team scores some points. I think 46 is, again, they're Wizards. It's going to be right on that. I don't think it's going to be like, it's not going to be crazy. I would almost say that's going to go under, just because I think defenses are good. And in fact, I'm gonna put my money on that. I'm gonna put my money on that under of 46. I'm gonna say it's gonna go under 46. But I think the Broncos maybe can eke it out. It might even be a 1-point game. So I think that Broncos minus +3 is money in the bank for me. So I'm gonna do that. So hopefully that's the case.
I'm very excited for you in Colorado that you allow sports betting. California in the last election.
What?
California in the last election, we approved everything but gambling. Explain that to me.
That's insane. Really? I thought everybody had gambling.
Nah, you can do certain types of gambling. You can do like fantasy football. You can't do straight up points and stuff. It's ridiculous.
That's so crazy. Like everything's been legal in Colorado for so long. I just assume everybody has it. I guess.
Haven't you guys authorized meth out there?
It's coming.
Meth is legal.
I got it on the ballot. I'm pushing for it. So. No, honestly, fuck. Get it. Put it in a little shop somewhere, and then you can say, hey, if you want some meth, go over here. Don't be fucking hanging out in the gully by my house, smoking your meth. I mean, you may be smoking it there, but you're not buying it there.
Now we know the animals scratching down John Reedy's,
It's the junkies trying to get in.
It's the junkies who are trying to get in through the screen door, which is why you're having to remesh them. Please
just don't take down the screen door until we have it shown. We just need to keep it in good shape until then. So hey, until then, we'll have to reconvene and see how our predictions went on this.
I love the quick recap of the game to come. Yeah. Everything else was just a mishmash in an hour and 2.
Well, I mean, what are you going to say about a game that hasn't happened? You could sit here all night and be like, "Oh, the fucking game with the Colts, that sucked for A, B, and C." It's like there's plenty you can hash out about it. But a game that hasn't happened, not much you can say.
John, there's so many segments you could do, like Spanos' Spanners, or there's a lot of puns that could be used. There, but I'll leave it alone.
We won't be doing that tonight, unfortunately.
No, not tonight.
So hey, you got anything else? And otherwise, we're gonna sign off and get it out of here.
I think we're gonna get it out of here. An hour and 3 minutes is good, my friend.
All right. Well, I'm gonna queue up the whiskey flow. Oh, he froze. He froze. Everybody. I had you earlier, didn't I?
You did have me earlier, John.
All right, everybody.
Entire without a glitch. We should celebrate.
It's good stuff. Hey, this is great. We didn't have any problems. It's fantastic. We're happy that it worked, and it's finally able to. We were able to riff. We were able to get our riffage going. It was nice to do that. So, all right, everybody. We'll be back for week 4, and we'll recap this game that we're pretty sure that the captain's pretty sure that they're going to win again. So hopefully it happens. So hey,
it will.
This has been the Broncos Booze Up. So for myself and the captain, adios.